Hello, everybody, and warm welcome to my channel, Tarot by Izabela. I am very happy to see you here today, and I hope you're all doing great, even if we live in quite crazy times for the moment. Today's reading will be reading about Finland and the Russian border. And I have had many viewers from Finland sending me mails and asking me questions if I could do a short reading about Finland and the Russian border. What will happen? What is going on? Will they be invaded by Russia, or will they be left alone? Well, and I decided to do a short reading about this since it concerns a lot of people in Finland, but also a lot of people in Sweden. And to all of you Finnish viewers, I want to wish you a very warm tervetuloa to my channel. And I hope whatever comes up here will be of some um, benefit to all of you. But before we begin this reading, I must thank you all, you wonderful viewers, for all of your support to this channel. I am very, very grateful. All of your wonderful comments, your mails, your sharing, caring coffees, everything that you do really, really helps. And it gives a lot of strength and inspiration to continue doing more videos. So without your help and all what you do, it will be quite difficult. So I'm very, very grateful. Well, what about Finland and the Finnish border? I have written down here some very short facts about this border I want to read to you before I start the reading. And these facts are taken online, and whether they are 100% truth, I cannot say. But still, there are some facts here that could give a good overview on why this question could be of importance. So now, first I'm going to read, and soon we're going to start this reading. And I'm going to use my crystal ball, tarot cards, and some oracles and dice to see if we can get some information from them. Well, let's start with the Finnish border. Sorry. With Russia is about 1,340 kilometers long. So it's a very long border to Russia, making it the longest border of any EU member state. This border runs approximately north to south through taiga forests and sparsely populated rural areas. And it is an external border of both the EU and NATO. As of May 2025, Finland completed the first 35 kilometers of a planned 200-kilometer fence along the border. Primarily, what I say, is to deter illegal migration, and many Finnish people mock it as a joke. Why? This new so-called fence that are building have cost until now over $320 million, and it goes along the Russian border, and it has been ridiculed by Finns as a complete joke. And some of the parts of the border, they look like this, and some of just a low fence with some barbed wire. And before Russia started the war with country U, there were quite good relations between Finland and Russia. And along the border, they traded, and well, there were no really big problems with the Russians, and a lot of businesses were bankrupt when the Finland Finnish government decided to join NATO and to so-called close up the border to Russia with yeah, some barbed wire and some a small fence. And they are planning. What was it to make? Let's see. A couple of 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers of fence they are planning on a border that is 1,340 kilometers long. And I wonder how could that keep the evil country or from invading Finland? Some barbed wire, yeah, that can withstand tanks and heavy war machines in case that would be that would happen. And I don't know how some barbed wire and thin steel fence can keep away the evil Russians from invading Finland. Especially if Russia doesn't have any tanks, they don't have any war machinery, they don't have anything. They just throw some, yeah, stones at the Finnish people. Anyway, but a lot of Finnish people are worried if their government's warmongering and yeah, stupidity will maybe cause the Russians to lose their patience and maybe take over Finland. And that would be a shame because before this stupidity of joining the NATO, there were no really any danger and there was good communication between the Russians and the Finnish people. But now everything is fear-mongering, warmongering, and they're really trying to push uh, a conflict. And those over $320 million, it's a lot of money that they spent already on that so-called fence that will keep the evil Russians away. That could have been used in so many other ways to benefit the Finnish people, not to spend it on stupidity that would not work anyway. But they have security cameras, and I'm sure the Russians will get very scared when some of parts of this fence have some security cameras. But anyway, that was just one of my thoughts. Maybe some of you Finnish viewers can complete with more information from your country. Since I'm not living there, I'm just thinking and trying to analyze what is going on through the information I read online. But anyway, today's video we're gonna look into a little bit about Finland and the border. If there is any danger, what could happen? Hmm? And first, I need to concentrate for a few moments on my crystal ball, and soon we're gonna start the reading. Okay, just give me a few moments, and soon we begin. For Finland and the Russian border. Okay, glasses on, and let's see if we can find some. Mm, The first thing I saw the border from north to south or from south to north, and I saw it quite empty. I didn't see any big Russian troops like patrolling the border. Um, they look at the fence in the border and they just shake their heads and oh my god, like yeah. Um, one can wonder how high the intelligence level of those who decided that is. Mhm. Um, I don't see Russia crossing the border or invading Finland in any way. If this escalated, could be some kind of escalation, some kind of stupidity the Finnish leader is gonna say in public. It could be that Russia would like manifest in some areas where there's still no dangerous fence, big dangerous, hard to cross fence. They could show up with big tanks just close to the fence and yeah, to show a little bit muscle. Uh, but I don't see them crossing the border. Just like putting down the feet and say, please stop making a fool out of yourselves. And a lot of Finnish people, they remember the time before this craziness began. And they're beginning to talk about those times and um, the brainwash that the current government in Finland have made the Finnish people go through. It's it's like losing up, and people begin slowly start to think for themselves and questioning what is going on with their politicians and in Finland as general. Mm. And still, I see certain places where there are not any big, strong fans against the Russians. I see people crossing the border, Russians crossing to Finland, Finnish people crossing to Russia, and they're making some kind of trades with goods. Because that has been going on for so many years, and uh, our fans will not stop that. And there's still like good communication. I don't see either a lot of NATO troops coming into Finland um, and like driving along the Finnish border to Russia just to show their muscles too. I don't really think that NATO, I don't see they have that all those arms or war machinery that is needed for a 1,340 kilometer long border. What I do see, I see that the Finnish politician in the coming weeks and months, they will make a lot of extremely stupid decisions and speech the public, and it's like the people are, oh my god, it cannot get any worse than this cannot continue. And the sisu in the Finnish people, the fire of courage and survival instinct will lit again in their hearts. And what the government had tried to oppress or push down, that flame, that the Finnish people possess in their hearts will burn again strongly. Even though a lot of them have taken the medicine and that like slow them down, but this will um, burn again with a strong flame. And big changes are coming in the following weeks and months, as the Finnish people will start to really wake up. And I see they will try to force the young people to join the military to fight against the evil Russia in the east. But I don't see many young people would like to sacrifice their life for warmongering politicians' wet dreams. Uh, so there will be a lot of refusal, and there will not be any big military to fight any wars. Mhm. And what I also see, the organization of NATO will get smaller, and disappear. So all that money that the Finnish government had wasted has wasted in fences and all kinds of strange things um, will be for no use, for nothing. And that money could have been used on healthcare, schools, to help the Finnish people, not to provoke wars. Especially the young people in Finland. I see them going online, I see them research, I see them watch news from other channels than the mainstream media, and they know. A lot of them know, and they're trying to get the message out. And more, as I said before, people will wake up in Finland. In the future, this so-called fence will not be built any longer, and people will continue to have very good trade and communication with their neighbor country. Mhm. Okay, now I'm gonna take some cards on Finland and the Russian border. First, I need to shuffle my cards a little bit. Yes, and since Finland uh, has no border to Ukraine, and they cannot throw a so-called missile or whatever from the country U to Finland and blame it on the country R. Um, so there have been a lot of uh, work, dark work behind the scenes to somehow start a conflict to make the people scared. Now the country Russia is attacking you. You have to defend. You have to start to send some missiles on the country R. But they have not been able to go through with that because there are not really any way to send those so-called bombs or missiles to make it look like it comes from the country R. Mm? Whoops. Those, but yeah. And I'll take these cards here. Finland and the Russian. And finally some dice. Hmm. Well, the cards and dice, they look like this. Let's see what we got here. In the tarot cards, we have 4 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 8 of Coins, 5 of Wands, and King of Swords. On the Oracle cards, we have success, imprisonment, decisions, expectation, and a magnifying glass. On the dice, we have seas, a big wave, moon, question mark, and a palette with a paintbrush and some paint. Mm. Well, there are a lot of people that wanted to provoke war. We have a big wave of anger and provocation and so on. Those warmongering politicians around the Western world that have been pushing lies and exaggerations, imprisonment will wait them. And they also wanted to imprison their own citizens in fear of war and fear of the danger from the east. But whatever they were pushing on their populations, that will return on them. So they will be in fear and imprisoned. There will not be any big wars. I don't see it here. People will open their eyes. We have seas. So more and more people will see what is going on. And they will demand justice and they will demand big changes. Here we have decisions. and expectations. There will be new decisions, global decisions, that will affect a lot of people around our planet. In this specific question about war and NATO and warmongering and fearmongering. Those military people, because there are a lot of military people in the Western countries that have been pro-war and pro-fear, they will be under investigation. And when comes a time for judgment for them, they will try to paint themselves in different colors. Oh, I was only taking orders. Oh, I was only this, and oh, I did. Yes, I didn't know. And I say, yes, you knew. And whatever color they will try to paint themselves in when they are under investigations, it will not succeed because imprisonment is waiting for them. So anyway, I see a waking up in the Finnish people. They will start to see what is really going on, and all that warmongering will not have any effect. And I don't see any fence reaching from the south to the north against Russia. It's just, if you think logically, it's a real stupidity. Okay? Now I'm just going to take some last cards for this and see if there are some last words to be said. Some last card for Finland and the Russian border. A lot of us may think, oh, but everyone is asleep. Oh, it's so horrible in our country. Yes, it looks like that. But suddenly, it could be through a small news or anything could happen. A huge amount of the population could wake up from one day to another. So one should not lose hope. The big awakening is here, and a lot of people will open their eyes to the truth. And we take cards. And some dice. And the last cards, they look like this. Let's see what we got here. In the tarot cards, we have Queen of Wands, Seven of Cups, and Ace of Wands. On the Oracle cards, we have a fox, Mystic Healer, healing energy flows through you, inspired. On the dice, we have Watching, a desire for, and a courthouse. There have been a lot of foxes A lot of lying people moving around in the Finnish government. But the planet and the world is heading for a purge, a healing for the entire planet. And this corruption will not be allowed. We have a courthouse here, and we have good news. So, some official truths will come out through big courts, big justice system, and will be very inspiring. Finland will have a very important role in the awakening of the rest of Europe in a way that could be very, very surprising. But as a summary for this reading, I must say there will not be any big war. But anyway, so big awakening for Finnish people, and I don't see that there is any need for fear. Just be strong. Try to help to open the eyes of your neighbors, family, and so on. Eventually, the truth will come out, and it doesn't look like it's so far away in the future. And we all will be able to live in peace and harmony when all those foxes are gathered and put behind bars or eliminated, depending on the crimes that has been committed. Well, that was my reading for Finland and the Russian border. And to all of you wonderful viewers out there, I want to thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we're gonna see each other soon. Bye bye.